Hello and welcome. My name is Nate from Video Games Recon, and in this video I decided to do a little montage style video similar to my all Black Ops 2 Pack-a-Punched Weapons video, featuring all weapons from the Exo Zombies Outbreak Map. Unfortunately, I won't be showing these weapons in their final form, as you need to complete the Easter egg to upgrade the weapons to level 25. And to do that for every weapon would just be ridiculous and incredibly time consuming. So instead I'm just going to show these weapons at random upgrade levels from the non-Easter egg and standard spectrum of 1 to 20. If you want to skip ahead in the timeline to a certain weapon, I will have an annotation key pop up shortly so you can check out the guns that most interest you, should you wish to. Also, if you're on mobile, that same info will be in the description. And if people enjoy this vid, I might make a little series out of it for all future Exo Zombies maps. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to post some opinions on things like my favourite and least favourite weapons on this map, and stuff like most underrated and so on. If that sounds like your sort of speed, then wait till the end or skip ahead to that point in the key. Anywho, without any further ado, let's do it to it. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed or found the weapon montage informative. So, like I said at the start of the video, let's quickly go over some points of interest with the Exo Zombies map, Outbreak. Starting off with the most disappointing weapon on the Outbreak map. Well, that wooden spoon would have to go to the Atlas 4.5. Now, that might sound like an obvious choice as it's a starting pistol, but to those of you familiar to the Treyarch Zombies game mode, like myself, will probably find this weapon incredibly disappointing, as all starter pistols in said games became absolute beasts once fully upgraded. Take Mustang and Sally for example. Once pack-a-punched, the humble and meek M1911 effectively becomes a wonder weapon, firing explosive rounds capable of clutch saves galore. Whereas the Atlas, even beyond Mark 20, is absolutely pathetic and may as well be a spud gun. So yeah, not much else to say on this pile of putrefied vomit trying to pass itself off as a weapon. Aside from, I hope they do something more interesting with starter weapons in the future. Now for my favourite weapon. First off, I'm going to be excluding any special weapons for this category, as it's kind of a no-brainer that 9 times out of 10 this is going to be the weapon of choice. So for that reason, we're going to have to say goodbye to the wonderful weapon that is the CEL-3 Cauterizer. See what I did there? Wonderful weapon, wink wink, nod nod. Even though there are no wonder weapons in this game. So that at best dubious joke doesn't even work. So yeah. Anyway, my favourite weapon has to be a toss-up between the MAHEM launcher and the S12 shotgun. Well, the MAHEM is widely regarded as a monster in terms of wrecking zombie biatches, particularly if training. But I'm going to have to give it to the S12 for a few reasons. First is points, as you tend to accumulate way less points with a launcher compared to a gun, mainly due to their limited ammunition. And speak of the devil, ammunition is my next reason, as although fairly negligible with a weapon like the S12, the MAHEM goes through ammo very quickly, meaning you're definitely going to need a comparable secondary weapon. Also, the MAHEM gives off splashback damage, which can contribute to getting killed. And finally, I find the S12 in general a more flexible weapon. My most underrated weapon would have to be the LYNX sniper rifle, as I don't feel anyone's talking about it. Sure, it's cumbersome and not the easiest weapon to use, as you have to ADS or quickscope to get the most out of it, and the weapon sway can be pretty significant, but for low to mid rounds, not much can compare to that zombie slaying stopping power. And even at higher rounds, if you keep upgrading that is, it remains a 1 or 2 hit kill into your low to mid 30s, and due to its semi-auto fire can also be used when rocking a train. So, not the best weapon in the world, but definitely underrated. Now for a little bonus category, and that would be new additions to a map or Exo Zombies in general. Well, as this is the first zombie map, the options to choose from here are chock-a-block, as there's loads of cool new additions. Swarm grenades, impact grenades, trash chutes, credit terminals, and the list goes on. So before we get started, I'm going to exclude the most obvious thing, and that's the jumpy fly machine, otherwise known to sane people as the Exo suit. As, well, like I said, it's obvious. So instead, I'm going to give the most interesting new addition trophy, which doesn't even exist as I just made it up, to the new types of zombies. As for me, I found this shook up the gameplay equally as much as the exoskeleton does, with all the variations from electric to explosive to infected and so on, all with very different abilities and tactics needing to dispatch of said zombies without them causing problems for your train or team. On top of these additions, there are infected rounds as touched on, and the dog rounds, which also have all the new zombie types, excluding the exosuits and infected type for obvious reasons. All in all, mixing up how the zombies react and affect you, creating new challenges to the gameplay. So for those reasons, I've got to give it to the new zombie types within Exo Zombies in general. So that's pretty much it for this video. Please keep in mind these are just my favourites and humble opinions, and thus are not gospel. Also, if you'd like to see more videos like this, hit me up in the comments. So, as per usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you and goodbye.